FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
I can't tell you how genuinely excited I am about this right here. Just some of these, this is the first run at it. You know, they're going to get better at, I think, these numbers. They'll be very, very they'll be algorithm driven. But right now, I feel like it's taking candy from a baby at this point. There's so many things you can do with these. Trevor Lawence seriously. Guys can get hurt. Jahmyr Gibbs, 580 yards. He's going to smash that on the ground. These are unbelievable. Bijan Robinson, 8.5 touchdowns. He's scoring more than 9 touchdowns. He's rushing for well over that 1,000 yards that they're projecting for him. These are absolutely unbelievable. Some of these are just phenomenal plays. These high or low pick'ems. I'm ecstatic. I am ready. I'm dialing this up. 1050 for Chris Olave. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's go see. I know some of our boys in here are going to be 1,300 for Jamar Chase. Some of these are respectable, you know, and it could go either way. Devontae Adams, 1,325. Oh, take the lower on that one. Let's see here. Who else we got? One of our Moonmen is sitting in here. Garrett Wilson, 1125. They don't want to touch his passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns. That's a good one too. 1125. Garrett Wilson's going to crush that. I'm going to hit that. Garrett Wilson's crushing that. Justin Jefferson, 1375. I could see that. Watson, 850. What? 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 What are we looking at? Watson, 850. Higher, please. Higher, please. Let's do it live. Dotson, 800. Higher, please. Thank you very much. One more makes it a 20 times multiplier. Drake London, higher, please. What are we doing here? So let's review. Drake London, 850. Give me the higher on that. Chris Olave, 1050. Give me the higher on that. Garrett Wilson, 1125. You know, I love that one, but I'm kind of feeling like we could go find an even easier one than 1125, but I'm going to leave that one. Christian Watson, 8 table for one, please, for 850.5. I'll take it. Jahan Dotson, yeah, table for one, 800.5, please. And look, even if you do just $5 on it, $100, such an easy little ticket to punch. Guys, this is where it's at. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Absolutely. It's like taking candy from a baby. This feature just launched. Dropping the link right now in the live chat. Get in there. Get you some of this action. This over-under amazing goodness that's just sitting right in front of you. Ready for the taking. Here's the link. I'm pinning it right now in the live chat. The link is in the description of every video. Please go ahead and visit Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty using that link right there. Link in the description of every video. I just want to see what some of you are saying because I didn't get a chance to read the chat while I was doing that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Easy. Okay. I like that. I don't even know which one we're talking about. Probably all of them. The Ryan says, what? Guys, Trevor Lawence could throw 40 he could throw 38 touchdowns easily. Like 40's possible. 20, what is it, 27? 26.5 is the Trevor Lawence line. Over, higher, or lower on 27 touchdowns. Trevor Lawence is going to poop out 27 touchdowns in a bad season. Literally shart them out. 27 touchdowns ain't nothing. Ridley season on the rise. Space Ricky in the building. Appreciate you. Let's see here. What else we got? These are good, bro. T-Law, 32 touchdowns. Easy. More ways to get your money. Man, he better. I drafted so many shares of T-Law. Justin Jefferson is so robbery. You guys are liking these, don't you? These are unbelievable, some of these. What's everybody's favorite? Who said, someone said 800 for Watson was a joke. It is a joke. That's unbelievable. 800 yards for Watson. He's gonna trip and fall into those numbers. Get on over there. Woo! Get on over there and do it. Do it live. This right here is a phenomenal little card that I got. This phenomenal little card, this little lineup that I got right here is absolutely amazing. Just earth-shattering easy. Cakewalk right here. Drake London, Olave, Garrett Wilson. And then we've got this other one that I put down here just a second ago. Where's that one? Live. Let's see here. We got Dotson. Okay, so Burrow. This one I love. This one I love. This one's fantastic. This one makes me smile. This one makes me happy inside. And happy inside. $5 for $200. I might redo it for 10, 20, 30. Joe Burrow, 33.5 passing touchdowns. Zip it. Joe likes to zip it. He can zip it, guys. This is garbage. And I love it. And I'm absolutely very, very blessed and feel joyful right now that I get to experience this with you, and we could all make some of these high or low pick'ems together. Justin Fields, 6.5 rushing touchdowns. Really? He's going to do that in half a season. Trevor Lawrence, 26.5 passing touchdowns. Perfecto. Easy peasy. 1075.5 rushing yards. This man's going to have 1,500, 1,400, bare minimum 1,300 yards on the ground. Bijan Robinson could be the leading rusher in the entire National Football League. 1075, he can poop that out. Jalen Hurts, 22.5 passing touchdowns. Feels like highway robbery. This one right here is glory. $5 pays 200. Jahmyr Gibbs, 580.5 rushing. Pretty easy for me to imagine that. 6.5. Trevor Lawrence again. Breece Hall, 5.5 rushing touchdowns. There's the Jalen Hurts one again. And then I did this one earlier today because Underdog's giving you a freebie. Jimmy Butler, 0.5 points. That means he scores 1 point. 1 point, he wins that one. They give you it's like a freebie. And then I did Joker over 31.5. I did Jamal Murray over 7.5 assists. He's at 10 in the last 3 games straight. This one right here, Gibbs Fields. Okay, I just started getting into this. I just found it. I just was alerted to it, and I'm happy as can be. I got a big grin on my face. This is what I love. I love this more than playing sometimes the fantasy football drafts. I'll be honest with you. This is what it's all about. 22.5 TDs. I'd rather take him on the 700 rushing yards, says Jake the Snake. I mean, either one, bro. Hall, 5.5 rushing touchdowns. Unbelievable. Can you imagine thinking that Trevor Lawrence could only throw the football into the end zone 26.5 times? I'm just ear to ear grin. Go play it. T-Law, 50 TDs, says Duvall. Of course you think that, but look, 38 touchdowns, something like that is very, very doable for T-Law. I'm just ecstatic about this. I was going to get through a lot of news today, but I didn't even get to that because I was looking at this. I was messing around on that, looking at the numbers and just trying to create a new graphic for the show because this just changed the direction of what I wanted to talk about today. But we're going to get back into the rest of the news. I'm going to put it all on screen right now, so bear with me as I throw it into the canvas here and get it on screen. What do we have on the docket as it relates to news? Let's get to the news desk. Yeah, my buttons aren't working. That's fantastic. That's just fantastic. Let me quit that. Reopen that. Let's redo that. Okay, let's redo that. Here we go. Let's go to the news desk. Let's go to the news desk. Why does nothing work? Why does nothing work today? I don't even know if the phone lines are working today. I haven't fired the phone lines back up. I got sidetracked with this. So if you are one of my regular phone call people, hang tight while I figure out if those even work. I don't know that they do. Let me click on that and see if the phone line's working. Here we go. Let me check it out. No. I'll have to redo that as well. So hang tight for me, and we'll try and get that worked out. Kenneth Walker, 7.5 TDs. Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. That's a really interesting one. Do we have the news desk? Why is nothing working? The whole show froze in the middle of the end of the show. Really, it was really the end. At the end of the show earlier when we did the Dalvin Cook show, and I had to reboot everything. I thought we were good to go. I feel like we should be good to go. I don't know why this isn't working.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Who is the number one overall player in 2020? So some of the stuff works. This particular one's not working. Come on. Well, I got some of my buttons. Some of them work, some of them don't. Let me drag the content on screen. We'll do this manually. What a pain in the rear end. Dalvin Cook, we talked about that earlier. Dalvin Cook is expected to be released on Friday. That news is not new news. We've known that's going to happen for a while, but it's becoming more and more official finally after a long-awaited release, because maybe they wanted to trade him. We're wondering maybe he stays on the roster after all. June 1st came, and it went, and nothing happened. Moonman cards have been mailed out today, okay? Sick Nasty. They've been mailed out today. I sent Miss Smitty on a mission, and they're going to get mailed out today. I had to wait on a few addresses. We had a few people changing addresses. I'm sending them in bulk, so the cards have not come yet. So hang tight. Look, they're coming, bro. They're coming. It's a very important situation. We got to make sure everybody gets them, and I want to make sure everybody got them, and they're going to the right place. Khalil Herbert and the Moonman cards are a week or two away from getting sent out because we're still ironing out who is going to be a Moonman. So hang tight on that. This report here: Khalil Herbert received first-team reps in Bears OTAs. This is a situation to watch because Khalil Herbert could potentially be a Moonman. Really, he really could be a potential Moonman or at least a satellite man.
Satellite men. Space cadets in training.
Why are my buttons not working? It's so frustrating. I have state-of-the-art system here. And it's like everything just breaks constantly when you run an operation like this. This is why Pat McAfee went to ESPN. Look, you guys want to rip on Pat McAfee over and over? That's fine. But I'm telling you, not a single one of you, I don't care what you say, not a single one of you would turn down what was believed to be way more than $15 million a year, especially when you consider the costs involved and what he no longer has to deal with. And ESPN ran my board for me, and I had no more problems. Maybe I'd have less stress in my life, okay? And I hate to break it to you, but if I was offered $15 million for a year, I would vanish for a year, come back, and we'd do it live again. I'd have $15 million to plug into the show, okay? I could pay Ron Navy to sit next to me and run the board, or rock out, or the Bruce. Vikings save $9 million on the cap while Cook gets cut, and so there's a lot of rumors. Miami, Denver. We don't know where Cook's going to land, but Miami and Denver seem to be the lead dog candidates for Dalvin Cook. So that's that news. We went over that earlier. This report right here, Carson Wentz. We talked about this. Carson Wentz to the Raiders feels like it's inevitable. At some point, Carson Wentz is going to go to the Raiders. And there are a lot of people that speculate on it. The Raiders have to look elsewhere. Carson Wentz would seem like the best option. He doesn't seem like the best option. He's really the only option out there. And that would be better for Adams. I don't know that I still like it for the ADP cost of entry, but I still think it would be much better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a good quarterback. Cooper Kupp returned to full team practice on Tuesday. This is good news. This guy's being slept on in some circles, and I think he's getting drafted appropriately in other circles. I really don't know what to make of Cooper Kupp right now, to be completely honest with you. At 4 or 5 overall, I just feel much more likely to take Bijan. The reason I own very little shares of Cooper Kupp is that Bijan is almost always available at a Cooper Kupp draft slot. Rarely is Cooper Kupp gone and Bijan or rarely is Cooper Kupp available and Bijan gone in a best ball draft or any draft. So that's why I almost never draft Kupp. I do want some shares of him, but not a ton. The guy's only had 2 1,000-yard seasons in his career. 2 seasons with 1,000 yards receiving. And one of them was barely 1,000 yards. I think people don't really realize that he hasn't had this amazing, long top 5 wide receiver career, and I think when we say things like, oh, he's Kupp, he'll do it. What do you mean he's Kupp? He's had 2 seasons with over 1,000 yards. One of them was not like he soared over it. This is a guy that had one of the best seasons in the history of the NFL, but he could very much be Michael Thomas at this point. We don't really know. He had trouble staying healthy. He's had an ACL tear in his past. He bounced back from that. His Triple Crown season was after his ACL tear. So we can't really say his ACL is bothering him in any way, shape, or form. But I will say that I feel like Cooper Kupp is a fantastic middle round, first round pick in 1 or 2 leagues, but not all of them. I would not put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to Cooper Kupp. But I'm glad that he's back. I do believe in him for 1 year. I do not like him in Dynasty, and that is that. In Smitty's earlier podcast, he said that King Tut's shoulder was in better shape than Dalvin Cook's. This is facts, I think. This is 100%, I believe, probably facts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, broski? All right, let me close this phone line down real quick. Let me reinstall the phone line. Let me see if I can dial up this or cook up this phone line back to form. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me try and do it live. Doing it live. Do it live. Here we go. Constant issues with this system. Constant issues with it. Always dealing with problems. Let me open it back up. I reinstalled it. It does it pretty quickly, which is nice. But then I got to click and go through a bunch of different features. Then we have an audio problem. Then people can't hear me. And then we got to roll through those situations. It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. Absolute disaster. All the technical problems that I got to deal with while I'm on a live stream are insane. File on in, get ready. Let's listen to voicemails while I try and fix this, because the voicemail, if you guys want to be a voicemail leaver on the channel, of course the button's not working for that. Then you can subscribe on my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. Here we go. Let me see if I got the phone line working. Let's click that. Let's click that. And let's click that. Let's turn on that. Let's click on that. Turn on that. We should be good to go. Let's go to the audio video. Microphone's working. Speakers. Microphone is working. Microphone is working. Microphone is working. Test, test. 1, 2. Bijan. 1, 2, 3. Gibbs. 27 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence working. Okay. We should be good to go. Phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in and try and test out and see if it's working. We're doing it live. Dial into the show. Motion detected at the front door. Now what? Ziggy, show me the front door. Now what? Now okay. What possibly could be going on right now, Ziggy? Okay, phone line button doesn't even work. Dial into the show. The phone number is on screen, or it will be in T-minus 1 second. There we go. Dial into the show. Dial into the show. 602-635-3664. That's 602-NFL-3664. Dial into the show. Let's see here. What's this say here? If Smitty is supporting McAfee, he's a batch 2. Yeah? Is that what you think about me, freak? The freak says if I support McAfee, he's a batch. I'm a batch. Is that your way of saying like biatch? What is that, freak? Explain yourself in front of everybody. Explain yourself. Tell everybody how you feel about me, because I think Pat McAfee took something that 99.99999999999% of you would have taken and stopped capping. Stop capping. Dial in. Hit 200 on Pick'em on NBA. Nice job, sir. Megaphone, shoulder discussion. Attaboy. Salty on the line. Salty, what's up?
What up, Smitty? Just real quick, I don't got a lot of time, but
Okay. I won't keep you.
one, I noticed no one was calling into your show to test the line, so I figured I'd do that.
Yeah, appreciate you doing that.
But second, I just wanted to go over, just got this Dynasty startup, just wanted to go through the first few rounds real quick.
Hit me with it. And the freak says Smitty lost his damn mind because I would take $15+ million from ESPN for a year or two of my time to come back and relaunch my channel. You're the one that's a little out of your mind, bro. don't cap the freak. Don't cap.
Oh, yeah.
You would take $100,000, the freak, and you'd run the other way with it. Like the phone line's open, the freak. You want to call in and talk about it? Go ahead, bro. Sorry, Salty. That guy's a little salty.
Okay. So we doing split drafts. So in the rookie draft, I have the 101, so I've got Bijan as well. Just to say that here. But so my quarterback, it's a one quarterback league. So I got Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback. Figured this was a show to call in with this.
Hold
my
on
running back.
Let me write it down on this portable board because my cameras aren't even switching. All right. Let me erase this real quick. Okay, go ahead.
So we got T-Law and Daniel Jones as my quarterback.
T-Law, okay. Danny Dimes, this is a two QB you said?
Just one.
One. Okay. So T-Law is your starter. Go.
My running backs, I got Bijan and Breece Hall.
Bijan
Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay.
Bijan, Breece, Pacheco, and Madison.
Okay.
And then my wide receivers, we got
Ziggy
Garrett
off.
Wilson,
Okay.
Chris Olave,
Jeez.
Drake London.
All right, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Is this the freak? Hello? Dial in again. All right, go ahead. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson.
Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Jamison Williams,
London.
and Jahan Dotson.
Okay, Dotson. Okay, hold on 1 second. 909 caller. Who's this?
My name is Jensen Richards.
Jensen?
You just call me J-Dog.
J-Dog. Okay, what's up, J-Dog? Hang tight for me, okay?
Yeah, no worries.
All right. I gotta say, Salty, that is quite a team. Let me turn the board around and show everybody. Let me show everybody the team. This man's got T-Law. He's got Danny Dimes. He's got Bijan Hall. He's got Pacheco Madison. He's got Garrett Wilson, Olave, Drake London. Who's your tight end?
Cole Kmet.
You did fire,
and,
bro.
We're still drafting, and we haven't had the rookie draft. I plan on taking Laporta as well.
What pick do you have?
I have 101. But everyone in this league, aside from one person, has two tight ends already.
You're taking Bijan, obviously, man.
I'm taking Bijan, obviously, yeah. But then when it comes back, I'm hoping Laporta falls to me or Musgrave.
That's great, bro. That's fantastic. Okay, hang tight, Salty. J-Dog, what can I do for you? You're live.
No, actually, I got to head out of here, Smitty. Just
Okay.
wanted to drop that. Have a great show.
Salty, fire team. Absolutely fantastic. Later. What's up? What's up, J-Dog? What can I help you with?
How's it going, man? I've been listening to your show for a little bit. I finally did my first Underdog draft, and I kind of just wanted you to rate how I did it, how I went about it.
Sure. Go ahead and tell it to me. I'm going to try and unplug some things real quickly, but go ahead.
All right, so I got the 1-1 with my first draft, so I was like, all right, cool, I'm going JJ. And then I went Devontae Smith and then Josh Allen on the 2-3 turn. Then I went Kenneth Walker and DJ Moore,
Okay.
I believe. And then I went D Swift and had tried to get Jahan Dotson. I ended up with Alexander Madison. So with the Dalvin Cook news, it's not the worst, but I wanted Jahan. But it is what it is. Then I ended up with, I think Zay Jones and Evan Ingram and Cole Kmet were my tight ends. Zay Jones, DJ Chark, and who else? I ended up with Anthony Richardson as my second quarterback. I didn't just remember my draft in my head. My speakerphone don't work, so I have to
Yeah, hit me with your team one more time. I got the controls back to my show. Thank God. All right, go ahead. Your lineup only. Your lineup only.
All right, JJ, Devontae Smith, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson were my quarterbacks. Tight ends were Evan Ingram, Cole Kmet. Running backs were Kenneth Walker, Swift, Addison, or Alexander Madison. I think I went like Chase Brown, Damian Harris. There's one more. I forget who it was. And then I think I got Zay Jones, DJ Chark, and there's one more. I can't remember, but I mean they're all backup.
Yeah, I like it, bro.
Just like the core players, were they all right?
Yeah, I like it. I think you did good. You need Charbonnet somehow. That's what I'm gonna tell anybody that drafts Walker.
Yeah, I was gonna get him. Somebody swooped on him right before me took him. I was like, dang it. But
He clowns on the establishment. I mean, the freak. You can call in. But to call me whatever you're calling me, a botch. You said a botch. I guess is your version of a biatch. Because I would what? Because I'd be honest with you and tell you someone offered me $15 million, let's say for 2 years, that I couldn't come back and take over the world after that. You're out of your mind, bro. You're out of your mind. Don't tell me you wouldn't take $30 million for 2 years of your time talking sports on ESPN. Just get out of here right now with that. That's ridiculous. But to come in here and be disrespectful, the freak. That's also out of your mind type stuff right there. But the phone line's open. You want to call in and debate me, in a civil fashion, dial in, the freak, dial in. You want to call in and tell me I'm a sellout because I'm admitting to you I would take $30 million from ESPN for 2 years of my time? You guys would see me. You wouldn't miss me that much, and then I'd come back and take over the world. Okay? So give me a break. Give me a break. You're capping. You're absolutely capping. And you're calling me a batch. Whatever the hell that means. This is what he's calling me. This is his way of saying, I guess, bad words. I don't know. A batch? A biatch? A batch like the cookies? Like a batch of cookies? I mean, freak, call in. Call in, freak. You're so quick to yell at people and tell people they're a batch. Call it in. Call me a batch. J-Dog, go. What did you say about Walker or Charbonnet?
I tried to get him, but somebody swooped on him. Can you hear me? Is my speaker working?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I can actually read off my team now. I was just trying to remember everybody. So I had Allen and Richardson as my teams.
And those you're starting You're starting two QBs. You said, right?
Yeah, this is an Underdog.
Oh, it's one QB then. Okay.
Yeah, this is my first Underdog draft. I just wanted your feedback on it.
Yeah. Very good team, bro. Next time, just make sure you get Charbonnet.
Yeah, I wanted to, but he got swooped. But then I got Damian Harris and Chase Brown and Gus Edwards to finish I had 6 running backs. And I'm sure you already heard me say JJ, Devontae,
yep.
DJ Moore.
Yeah, good team.
Zay Jones.
Really, really good team.
And,
I like it. I like it.
I got Rashid Shaheed pretty late and Donovan People-Jones and Bobby Trees.
You drafted Batch, too. Nice work. Nice work.
Who?
Batch. That's what this guy's calling me in the chat. He's calling me a batch. And then he's saying, well, my situation...
sounds like what
It sounds like what a chick would call another chick, like
You batch.
like
It sounds like
Orange
what Denny
County or
would.
something.
It sounds like Denny's pronunciation of a biatch. He'd say, "You batch, you batch." But this guy's literally, the freak's calling me a batch, and then he's saying, "But your situation is different." So, like, are you backing down from calling me a batch because you just said I'm a batch, that I'd be selling out, but you're saying my situation is different? You're dialing it back now. You're dialing it back now. Is this because I don't like Shanahan? Is that what this is really about? Is that what this is really about? That's
Kyle
part of me.
Shanahan? I
That's-
hate his ass. I'm a Washington fan.
I think that's what this is about. I think he's just mad because I don't like Kyle Shanahan, is what I think it comes down to.
I don't like him either.
Anyway,
He
good
ruined our
team.
G3.
Good team, bro. Hey, what do you think about this Trevor Lawrence? What do you think about this Trevor Lawrence 27 touchdowns? How likely are you to, or what's the likelihood of Trevor Lawrence dropping 27 passing touchdowns if you had to give it a scale of 1 to 100?
High 80s, low 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a chance somebody could get hurt.
Yeah,
but
that would be the only reason you wouldn't put it
that's
at
crazy.
100. I'm
I was
dying.
driving home and I had you playing and I heard you say that, and then the JJ, his over under for touchdowns was crazy, and then even the Jalen Hurts, that one was crazy too. I was like, what the hell? These are all real? Like, what?
Yeah, it's like taking candy from a baby, bro. I love it. I love it.
And I might have to get in on some of that too.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys. Kind of wanted to know how my first
all right, man.
draft went.
Appreciate you
I'll
calling
do
in,
another one
J-Dog.
here pretty soon.
I got you in the system,
All right,
J-Dog.
man. Yeah, I love your show. I listen all the time.
Calling anytime.
So,
Later.
all right, thanks, man.
Yeah, I don't know. A part of me wonders why is the freak? Genuine question. Why are you even here? Why are you even here? If you feel that way about the person you're watching, it doesn't make any sense. What's up, Ron? Navy Mars man, Ron. Hello.
Hey.
What's up?
I'm like behind the times, so I think he's referring to Charlie Batch, right? The old starter for Detroit that became the backup in Pittsburgh, Charlie Batch. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, hey, what do you think about 27 touchdowns for Trevor? First of all, which one do you like best out of the ones that I highlighted? Let me put them on. Let me put them on the marker board here, and I want you to rate these in order of your favorite. So T. Law, 27 TDs is what he'd have to get for you to win that. So I'm not going to put the line. I'm going to put what it takes to win. What did I say? Fields 7 rushing touchdowns. Rushing TDs would be Fields. Breece Hall was 6 rushing touchdowns. Gibbs was 581 rushing yards. And then the final one was Hurts 20. What was it? Hurts 23 passing touchdowns. Like that's crazy. He had 22 last year. So Hurts 23 passing TDs. Which one is your favorite one out of these right here?
I think the Gibbs one will be the one.
The which one?
The Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs. That one's pretty easy.
I'd go Gibbs. I would go Hurts. I would go Fields, Tyler, and then Hall. I'd be the least on, simply because we haven't seen him get on the field yet. We don't know what he looks like yet, so I kind of stay away from that one until later on when it can see what he's actually where he's at.
Yeah. Hey, Frankie Knuckles. Which one is your favorite one? T-Law 27 TDs, Fields 7 rushing touchdowns, Hall 6 rushing touchdowns, Gibbs 581 rushing yards, or Jalen Hurts 23 passing touchdowns?
I like Fields.
Okay. What about you, GDLT? I don't know why do we have your name as GDLT? Why do we have your name like that?
Change it to Ninja. I'm Fantasy Football Ninja in the chat.
Okay.
But
you let us be.
Yeah, I mean,
you let us be the
a
one
majority
that
of
judge
those look really good. I think I would take the over on Trey Law, but I think my favorite would be Jalen Hurts, 23 passing touchdowns. Are you kidding me? Take the over on that so easily.
Yeah.
Because I could see maybe with the addition of DJ Moore and Cole Kmet taking another step in his development and the other weapons in the Bears passing attack, that maybe you can go under on the 7 touchdowns, but I wouldn't be surprised if that gets hit. But I think the Jalen Hurts and Trey Law plus, I think they have 30 touchdowns almost easy in there if they're healthy the whole season.
And what was the other one that was the worst one of them all? It was it was Watson, Christian Watson, 851 receiving yards.
Wow. And London.
Yeah, London was 850.
That's less yardage than they had last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I noticed though, and this is look, Underdog is the best of the best. I joke around and say it's like taking candy from a baby, and essentially it feels that way. But these will get tighter, like as they because every feature is going to have some kinks in it. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's going to be a little.
What have they got down for Amon Ra?
Amon Ra, let me look. But what I will say is, I think where our community is going to benefit the most from anything that Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. Link is pinned in the live chat. Link is in the description of every video. Click the link. $10 minimum. They'll match up to $100. What I will tell you all is that I think our community takes advantage the most from these situations right here versus even playing in fantasy football leagues. And the reason I say that is because they're not going to see Watson like we do no matter what. They're not going to see London or Gibbs, or no one's going to see those guys the way we see them until it happens. And so as in fantasy, you get a number of people that can get cute and think kind of like you outside the box. There's going to be one guy in a league that likes Gibbs as much as you. There's going to be one guy in a league that likes Hurts as much as you. But the system it can't project Watson to do greater because it looks at it as an unproven, situation that it would lose more money than gain by going aggressive. So you're always going to see guys that we see as Moonmen, breakout guys, Gibbs, undervalued until it happens. So I feel like the opportunity is absolutely enormous. What's up, Blackbeard? Appreciate
the background noise going on.
Yeah, I think that's Frankie Knuckles. I think Frankie's got like some kind of like work situation. Is that right, Frankie? Is there a way to mute that until you're talking?
No, that wasn't me. I was muted.
Okay, maybe that was that you, Ninja?
No.
Okay. Let's go over to Jack of all trades real quick. And Jack of all trades, you're one that's good with words. Put into words what you're looking at on screen here in general, and tell me which one gives you glory and screams glory into your soul.
Oh, it has to be Lawrence with that mane going. I'm telling you, he has everything going with the shampoo commercial, and he has everything going with that high-tech arm of his.
That mane.
I'm just a little disappointed in the last couple of years. I thought he was going to come out on fire. I thought he was going to be the new face of the NFL. But he hasn't been fed right yet.
That golden
now
mane.
He has the full deal meal. He has the combo meal number one.
He reminds me of the lion from the Wizard of Oz. This glorious.
Oh,
mane.
But I'll tell you what, this guy has all heart. He has all heart. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say this is what it feels like to have a mane like he's got. Like I'm putting on a shirt right now, and I'm just letting it drape over, and I'm jealous. Just jealous of Trevor Lawrence's ability to wave his hair and have that glorious golden mane just hanging down from that noggin.
All you got to do is whip that thing around, and the panties fall off. I'm telling you,
bro. Jack of all trades knows what he's talking about. Jack, give me your second favorite pick from this list right here. Give me your second favorite pick from this list right here.
Fuck, I can't even see the list, bro, but I heard Gibbs is on there.
Yeah, 581 rush. Okay, I'll tell you. Jack, you tell me on a scale of 1 to 100 how likely it is to work out, okay? Christian Watson, 851 receiving yards.
True.
T-Law, 27, you said true. Justin Fields, 7 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, easy. That's easy money.
Yeah, and it's 6.5. 7 wins.
Easily. They fixed the O-line. They got that nasty guy up front now.
That's 6.5, though. It's
Darnell
7 wins it. 7 wins it. 6.5 is the line. Breece Hall is a 5.5 rushing touchdown line.
Oh, that's easy money.
All day long. Probably by week 5.
Are you serious?
5 and 5.
He might get hot and have that in week 3.
Yeah, 1 season or 1 week. 1 week.
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Let's punch the ticket. Let's go.
I already have.
You're at Vegas. Let's everyone get on the plane.
Look. I've already. This is all on Underdog
Yeah.
Fantasy, my guy. This is all on Underdog Fantasy. All you do is punch that higher button on there. What about Gibbs? 581 rushing yards.
Easy.
Real
bro. Easy. Especially if something happens to Monty. Monty always hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Monty's hurt. Monty's
He's
hurt right now, Smitty.
I know.
Monty's hurt right now?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts. Jack of all trades.
Easy money.
Jalen Hurts, 22.5 passing touchdowns. 22.5 passing touchdowns. He had 22 last year. Smash.
Man, I don't know. I hate to say it's the only one I'm a little iffy on, bro.
London, 851 yards wins it. 850.5 is the line. 851 wins it.
If Riddle can get the ball to him.
Riddle? It sound like Ron.
The Riddler.
Smitty,
the
did
Riddler.
you see what they
That's
had
the Riddler because we don't know what we got yet.
He's
the Riddler.
It sounds like a disease. He caught the Ritter. Hey,
I mean, the kid was a rookie. He was a third rounder. Let's give him a shot this year.
Let's go over to D Philly. D Philly, which one of these Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty? Link in the description. Link is pinned in the live chat. Minimum $10 deposit, but they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. So if you drop $100 your first deposit, they'll give you $100 if you're new to Underdog. Which one, D Philly, is your favorite from this list?
Definitely Gibbs, bro.
Smash. What else you got, D Philly? Make it quick. But what do you got, pal? What can I do for you?
I want to hear the freak call in. I want to hear what he's got to say.
You want to hear who to call in?
The freak.
Oh yeah, I don't know what his problem was. Like literally just calling me a sellout because I'm being honest about what I would do in everybody, 99.9% of the world, despite of how much it makes people mad. People are mad for a couple reasons. They're mad because Pat McAfee paved a road that everybody thought he was going to stay on, and he jumped off right at the end, and ESPN won. And look, I understand it. It makes sense. I know why everybody's upset, and everybody's saying now we got to start over. It's kind of like thinking, it's kind of like somebody dug this big hole, right, and they're about to get to the treasure, and then the person just filled the hole in at the last second. It's like you didn't even leave the path open. You just bailed. Like everybody feels that way. But this guy calling in or a message again saying that I'm a batch or I'm a sellout because I admit that if ESPN offered me $30 million for 2 years of my time, 2 years goes like that, I'd come back and build the conglomerate that no one would touch ever in the history of sports. And so I'm just being honest with my mindset and what I would do, because 2 years, you guys would not lose me. And I'm not going anywhere, first of all. No one's coming to my door with $30 million. So this is all just conjecture. I'm just saying if someone asked me, being honest, would you take $30 million for 2 years? Of course I would. 99.9999999% of the world would take 2 years of your time talking sports on ESPN. Let's keep in mind, like, ESPN has turned into something that a lot of people despise in a lot of ways. Okay, and I get that.
I
But
know
there's
Josh Jacobs would take that money.
But there's still shows on there that, like, you know, if it's on, you might actually glance over and look at it. Maybe you don't order that service anymore, and I get all that. But, like, if I went on to ESPN and I started talking the way I talking about player, you're telling me you wouldn't have any interest in turning on the TV and watching it? Like, I would do what I could to try and this is what I think Pat's going to do, try and kind of change the culture a little bit. But also, this guy people don't realize how hard it is to run a business like Pat's. I don't have anything close to what Pat's got going on. I'm a one-person show, but I have so many moving parts. It gives me a headache all day. I wouldn't change it for anything. I'm blessed to do what I do. I'm not complaining. But if people knew what I did all day, how much work I put in over 100 and probably 10 hours a week into what I do. I'm never outside this room. I'm constantly dealing with stuff. And if I had like 15, 20 people working for me on top of that, I would lose my mind. And Pat no longer has to deal with any of those stresses, and he has a brand new baby. And so if he sold out, he sold out. But all I'm saying is you can't blame somebody and call them names. And there's people on his wife's account saying bad things about his wife, saying your husband's a sellout, your baby's dad's a sellout. Everyone's just going at his wife and talking about his kid. And that's just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. I understand where people are coming from. There's a little bit of an upset feeling people have because he paved this road for everybody and then he got off it. But, you know, whatever. Let's go.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
Philly here. I need to tell you, I like all three of the quarterbacks.
You what?
Law, Hurt. I like all of the quarterbacks. Law, Hurt, and Burrow. I want them to go over for sure. That's an easy smash.
Yeah, Burrow's got a nice, what was it, 33 touchdowns, was it?
Yeah, he'll top that easy.
Burrow, 33 TDs. Smash. Let's go to Rock Out real quick. Rock Out, what's your favorite on the board here?
I like Gibbs and I like Hall.
Ron Navy's going to count how many you do, just so you know.
Gibbs Hall.
Ron's going to try and correct that for you. Rectify that.
All right, go.
Ron called out Rock Out the other night. Rock Out was just merely giving his take, and he goes, Rock Out, do you know how many times you say the word And Rock Out was like,
I do?
Okay.
There
Tristan and D-Class, drop in super chats here real quickly. Tristan, appreciate you. Tristan to the moon. T-Law to the moon, 40-plus touchdowns.
Don't let him take my stuff.
Hold on 1 second. Who's making ice in the background of the show here? You can be honest. I just want to know who it is. Who's making ice? They're doing someone's doing something in the background. It sounds like you're making ice, or you're skiing.
I'm outside and it's the wind blowing.
Oh, okay. It sounds like you're making ice. Who says I'm outside? Who is that?
Philly.
Okay. D-Class says
I'm outside,
drop.
but I'm feeding the skunks, bro.
The skunks? Why would you feed the skunks?
Oh, this neighbor has these cats that always shits in my garden. So I was like, oh, okay, your cat's shit in my garden. Well, I'm going to start feeding some skunks at night. I have a little stinky party. Cat's been sprayed 4 or 5 times now.
That's one of your. Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. A little revenge. You know what we call that?
Yeah,
you know what we call that?
I cook up a little hors d'oeuvres for them. They come running right down the hill at night. It's a nice little party going on.
Do you know what we call that here on the show?
I don't know, cat scratch fever?
No. Revenge tour.
Nice. I'm down. I'm down and I'm out, boys. I'll talk to you guys later after we'll walk the dog.
All right, later, pal. Go walk the skunks. We'll see you later. D-Class says drop your most confident season-long over-under. I mean, I don't know what my most confident one is. I haven't gone through them all yet, but I'd say the T-Law one or the Christian Watson one feel really, really good. Thank you, Tristan, and thank you, D-Class, for dropping these. The T-Law one just felt like that was the one that popped the most. Watson, I had a little belly laugh over, so maybe that one is the most ridiculous one, but could he get hurt or something? Yeah, I mean, sure. Could T-Law get hurt? Sure. I would have to say T-Law, though. That's pretty ridiculous. Watson's probably the most ridiculous, though. 851. Guy's going to smash that. Guy's going to smash 851. Gibbs is really, really bad. 581, he's gonna rip off like a third of that in one game. Just one day. He's going to have one of those big games. Go ahead, Ron. I didn't quite hear what you said.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, when you did your breaking news show earlier, I thought Fantasy Ninja was talking about Dalvin Cook, and he was actually talking about Madison. So I owe him an apology for reading him the riot act in the chat. So Fantasy Ninja, I'm sorry that I did that to you. I mistakenly thought you were talking about Cook, not Madison.
Oh, okay. We got an apology there, apology tour. We got a revenge tour, all in the same show. We got 5 gifted East Coast Tatty memberships from East Coast Tatty. Appreciate that, bad boy.
Mashed potatoes.
East Coast doing it live. Yep. What else we got from the phone line here? Let's go over to who hasn't talked yet. Let's see, Frankie Knuckles. You kind of haven't really said or spoke your mind, then we'll go to Jake the Snake.
I was just going to say that one line I like a lot is Patrick Mahomes at 37.5 passing touchdowns. I like it just because he's hit 42, I think it was, then 38 and 37. So he's right in that range. I'd take Patrick Mahomes at 37.5.
Let's go through every one of these real quick. Let's go through every single one of them real quick. Or at least, I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm going to go up. Judy, 900 yards. Look, I'm not saying Judy can't do that, but how is Judy getting 900 yards and Watson's getting the 850 or what was it, 851? Okay, let's go through this. Jamar Chase, 1,300. Look, that I could see, him missing a game or 2 or 3 games and like getting 1,300 on the button. So that one doesn't scream to me, but I think he could certainly, get over that. Mike Evans, 950. Honestly, I'd probably go lower on that one. Christian Kirk, 775. I feel like I'd go higher on that. CeeDee Lamb, 1150. Honestly, I don't know what to make of the Cowboys' offense and the fact that they're dialing back the pass and they're going to go run heavy and maybe it doesn't work and they punt a lot and they botch the entire season. Honestly, would just stay away from the CeeDee Lamb one. Not that I don't like it or that I hate it. T. Higgins, 1,000 even. That feels pretty good to go above 1,000 yards even. 1,000.5. So he just has to give 1,001 yard. Cooper Kupp, 1,325 seems a little too high to touch. I wouldn't want to touch that one. I love Olave, 1050. That's a great one. I wish they had receptions on there because I think he's going to be a beast.
That's a great line. I also saw Anthony Richardson. They don't have his rushing touchdown.
They don't want to touch it.
But if that line gets dropped, oof.
They don't want to touch
Anthony
it.
Richardson, yeah, right. Oof.
1325. Devontae Adams punched a lower on that one. Evan Ingram, 625. I think he's getting well over 625 yards. That's an easy one. 1,200 Diggs. I don't know that I would touch that one, even though he could easily get above that. That seems like one where, it could go either way.
It's a trap.
Christian Watson, 850.5. That's just such a good one. That's like one of those ones I could see myself not doing a multiple player pick them and just do just that one and put a lot on it. Calvin Ridley, 850. That seems like a smash. Wow. Calvin Ridley, 850.5. He's getting well over 850. That's crazy. AJ Brown, 1,100. I don't know that I'd touch that one. Darren Waller, because of the injury risk, I probably wouldn't touch it, but 750 seems like a steal. I do like Waller a lot, but I probably wouldn't put anything on it. 1125 for Garrett Wilson. Probably crushing that, but at least they're respecting him slightly, Waddle, 1025. Probably wouldn't go near that one. Burks, 825. Probably wouldn't go near that one. I could see it happening with like 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns and having the yardage, but not doing as well as we want, but still getting the yards. So I probably wouldn't touch that one. McLaurin, 950. Probably wouldn't go near that one. Godwin, I wouldn't go near 925. Goddard, 615. I think that's a higher. I'd go higher. Dotson, 800. I'd go higher than 800 yards even. That's crazy. Brandon Ayuk's pretty good at 775. Brandon Ayuk, 775. 775 Pickens. 775 yards for Pickens. That's really good. Debo, 825. Probably get the over, but he's an injury risk, so maybe I'd stay away. Mark Andrews, an injury risk, but 800 evens, pretty good. Devontae Smith, 1,000 even. Amon-Ra, 1,000 even. I think he's going to crush that. Kelsey, 1,100. I'd probably stay away from that because that's a respectable number, and I do fear a couple missed games from him. London, 850. Smash the over, the higher on that. Walker's probably getting over 1,000 yards, but the Charbonnet factor, this is one where I want to click on this one, but I'd probably stay away from it. 7.5 TDs feels like a smash, but I think I'd just stay away from it for right now, at least. But like if I could somehow, get 10 touchdowns and 1,200 yards for the starting slot, but you can't do that. So I don't hate it though. I don't hate it. There's too many other good ones for me to go near. 775 for Monty. He could do 6 touchdowns and 775. I wouldn't touch that one. Najee, 6 rushing touchdowns, 925 rushing. The thing about Monty is he could have a nice split of yards, receiving yards and rushing. So while I wouldn't say that it's a smash and I've run out and, throw this one in my top 5 or anything like that, it's a good number. He could get it. Nick Chubb, 8.5 touchdowns. While I want to say hit the higher on that, the guy didn't score a single touchdown in 6 games that Deshaun Watson played. Not one single touchdown once Deshaun Watson got in the lineup. I don't think I could go near that. Eckler, 775 rushing. Actually a pretty decent number, even if he got hurt. 8.5 rushing touchdowns. He gets a lot of receiving work, though. Khalil Herbert, 600. Seems pretty decent. I think he starts week 1. 950 rushing for ETN, 6 rushing touchdowns. Jacobs, they're disrespecting. That's not one that I would run out and smash. 1075, barely 1,000-yard season. The 9 touchdowns, we'll see if he can muster that up. Christian McCaffrey, even if he got hurt, I probably would hit the 6.5. That's a low number. 6.5 rushing touchdowns. Tony Pollard, 1025. He should get that. Pacheco, 5.5, higher. 815 on the ground, higher. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Stevenson.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Stevenson.
That Stevenson line's fantastic.
That's decent. Yeah, that's decent for sure. J.K. Dobbins, he's such an injury risk. I probably would just stay away. Jahmyr Gibbs, 580 on the ground. Guys, if you want to do this, link is pinned in the live chat. Promo code is Smitty if you want to just use the promo code, but the link is in the description and in the live chat, and it's a $10 minimum. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I feel like these are, when you do 5 of them on one ticket, it's essentially a 20 times multiplier. So $5 will get you 100. Every $5 will get you 100 if you land all of them. Then you can get insurance on it if you want. Rashad White, 800. Honestly, I'd probably do the under on Rashad White, 800 yards rushing. DeAndre Swift, 575 rushing. The thing about him is you don't know how much he's going to get in the receiving department. I probably wouldn't take the touchdown, the 4.5 touchdowns, because he could catch 5 receiving touchdowns and run for 3, or catch 4, run for 3, get 7 total. It's all those numbers seem like a very decent possibility to me, and I don't know that the 4.5 rushing touchdowns feels like a smash. The 575 rushing feels pretty good though. I'd do that. Aaron Jones, 875 on the ground, kind of an injury risk, but possible. Derrick Henry, they're giving him mad respect with 1225, and you need to get 10 touchdowns on the ground. I'd probably stay away from that. Stay away from Mixon. I'd probably do the under on Miles Sanders, 925, to be honest. I just don't know that I see him playing a full year doing amazing things, but I could be wrong.
Barkley seems low, Smitty.
Yeah, Barkley,
seems low.
975 rushing. What's going on there?
That's way low, and his touchdowns.
What's up with that? Ron, you'd smash 975.5, right, on Barkley rushing?
If he plays on his franchise tag.
Yeah, he will.
Barkley's playing, and he's getting more than 7.5 touchdowns. I guarantee that.
Yeah. He's getting one for every mil he's getting paid. 10 mil.
Getting like probably 10 or 12.
What's better, Breece Hall, 850 rushing yards or 5.5 rushing TDs? Both are great.
5.5 rushing TDs, I would say.
TD.
Bijan, 1075.5 or 8.5 TDs. What's better to hit the higher on? Do you guys think?
Either or.
Yeah.
Either or.
Both, please? Can I get a yes, please, for both?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, I mean, I wouldn't go near this one because I think he could do it, but I also would be afraid he would get hurt or wouldn't do it. But 4,000 yards is respectable. They're giving Goff a lot of yards. 4,000.
What are they doing with, I'm sorry, but I got to ask, what are they doing with Cousins?
He's right there, right in front of your face there. 4,350, 29.5 passing TDs. I would do the under on the 4,300 yards more than I would do the over, but that's just me.
I would do the over because he's done it every year except for one since
Joe Burrow,
2017.
I don't know that I would do the 44-25 on the passing yards for Burrow just because, I mean, that wouldn't be crazy for him to throw 4,400 even. But 33.5 passing TDs, he's going to get 34 or more. That's a smash for me. Not the biggest one of them all, though. But it's good. Now, I think Mac Jones doesn't play even half a season if he's lucky. So I kind of like the under on this 3,250 passing yards. I don't think he sniffs that. That would be a good under. Trevor Lawrence will probably crush 3,900 yards too. So while we're excited about 26.5 passing touchdowns as the line, clearly you hit the higher on that. 3,950 on via the air, yardage wise is not. That's an easy, I think, feat. I think he should crush 4,000 yards.
I'm taking the over on Pickett's 19 touchdowns.
The over on Pickett's 19.
I knew that was coming.
Yep.
Did I miss any of the exclusive membership stuff? Can somebody tell me if I missed anything in the chat, and I'll go back and catch it. I'm sorry we're caught up on this. Herbert, 4,300 yards, 30.5 passing touchdowns, so he's got to get 31. I'd stay away from that one on both sides. I'd just stay away from it. Mahomes, 37.5 passing touchdowns. I'd stay away from that one just because that could go either way. 4,750 passing yards. I'd probably stay away from that one too because it could go either way. Daniel Jones, 17.5 passing touchdowns, 3,250 passing. Probably stay away from that one. Richardson, 16 passing touchdowns. I mean, honestly, wouldn't shock me if he had 16 even, but had 10 rushing touchdowns and 26 total. Like he could, that's why he's so, such a dynamic fantasy football player. 27, 25 passing. I mean, what is that per game? What's 27? Let me divide that up. 27, 25.5 divided by 17 is 160. I think he gets more than that, but I don't know that I would touch it. I think he gets way more than that, but Aaron Rodgers, 28.5 TDs, 4,000 even. Probably over on both those. I don't know that I'd pick it, though, because there's so many other better options. Geno, 27.5 passing touchdowns, 3,800 yards. I'd stay away from that because while I doubt him in so many ways still, he's got so many weapons, I just would want to stay clear. Ritter, 15.5 passing TDs, 2,600 yards. I think he crushes that 2,600 yards. Even if he has like a mediocre season, I think he absolutely annihilates that yardage total because of his weapons. His weapons are just tremendous. How do you feel about stacking other positions and going Madison, Swift, running back 1 and 2? just get another RB because those are both risky RBs. You got to have like even another risky RB like Kamara or Charbonnet and Pacheco, and then you get McKinnon. But I don't think I'd feel good enough just having just those two. Like you got to, unless you cuff the entire room, and then even then is still a little bit risky. But appreciate your super chat, and it's a really good question. Get one more kind of equal player like Pacheco and get McKinnon, then you're good. Like then I'd be okay with it. Fields 20.5 passing TDs, 6.5 rushing TDs, 2,950 yards, 875 rushing. I like the over on the rushing, but it wouldn't shock me if he ran for 875 yards, and they dialed him back and then he threw for more yards. I love the 6.5 rushing touchdowns. I think he could do that in a quarter of a season. I'm not saying he keeps the pace the whole year, but like in a quarter of a year, he could get all those in one shot. Like, so the rushing touchdowns feel great to me. Does anybody feel differently? Does somebody like the 875 rushing better because this guy's a 1,000-yard rusher? Or do you think that they will dial him back a lot? Anybody? Let's go to Jake the Snake. Jake, you haven't talked yet. Jake, what do you think about that? And then what do you have? What question do you have?
I'm sorry. Wait, what was the question again? I was in chat.
Fields 6.5 rushing TDs or 875 rushing yards. Which one do you like better? And do you like both of them?
I like the rushing TDs, but yeah, I'd probably hit both. I think he probably hits both. Definitely
what else you got?
TDs for sure.
What else you got, Jake?
I like Burrow. I like Burrow's passing touchdown line at 34.5. I'd hit that as well. Honestly, I don't love the passing yards lines, but what's Herbert's passing yardage line? Because Herbert had 4,700 yards passing last year, so whatever his line is, I'm sure it's interesting.
It's 43.25.
Yeah, I'd probably hit that too. Honestly,
yeah, it's not bad.
He leads the league in passing yards a lot of the time, or he's up there, top 3.
Josh Allen 625 rushing yards. 6.5.
Another great hit.
Stroud 3,400 passing, 20 passing TDs. I don't know that I'd touch that just because we don't know. What? It's not that it's bad. It's just Hurts 11.5 rushing TDs. Did that change? And then 22.5 passing TDs. Hurts is going to crush 725 on the ground too.
Yeah, his rushing yards are what I'm hitting on.
Love's going to have probably higher numbers than both of these. 21.5, 3,200 passing. I like that. Derek Carr, 23.5 touchdowns. He'll throw for more than that. Tua, I'd take the under just because of the injury. 3,800 yards is a lot of yards. That means he has to be on the field for a long time. I'm going to say give me the under on 3,800 yards on Tua. I'm sorry to say. Pickett, 19.5 passing TDs, 3,250. I know Ron loves it. I don't like it enough to like overlook these other, freebies to me. This could go either way to me. Deshaun Watson.
No one wants to hear it, but I would really hit the Deshaun Watson 26.5 passing TDs. I think the media has tried to change the narrative around him, but I don't think it changes the player he is. So I'd hit on Deshaun Watson.
You say that, but like what makes you think the player he is? What makes you think we always go through this, so we don't need to beat a dead horse on it, but you talk about it like, this is something that has been proven that he's bounced back. He changed the player. The media is trying to change the narrative. What has he proven, in your opinion, to be worth the player you say he is? Like, what's his? And I know he didn't have as much preparation, and I get all that. But what was his touchdown total pace if he played? Let's say he played 6 games and he had 7 TDs. So
it doesn't matter to me though, because he's got a full off season now. So I don't think like what Deshaun Watson last year is going to be what he is this year.
If he gets Hopkins, I'll agree with you. But if he doesn't get Hopkins, I don't know. I mean, he did have a strong finish, you could say. Pittsburgh, 2 TDs passing. How many interceptions did he have in those 2 games, though? He had 2 against Pittsburgh, so 2 and 2. But he had 3 TDs and 2 TDs in his final 2 games. So he had 5 TDs in 2 games right there in week 17 and 18. So he did show some promise. threw two TDs in that time frame, but he did show some promise. His rushing stats were okay. He had 44 yards that last game and 31 the game prior. So good value there. I think it's possible, but 26 touchdowns, man. I don't know if I would go. I think that's like one of those I wouldn't touch. It's not that he can't do it. It's not that I'm saying that you're going to be wrong, but I don't know that out of all the softball pitches that I've just, shot out here so far, that would be the one you roll with. But hey, if it's fun for you to watch, do it. Like if you love Deshaun Watson, you believe in Deshaun Watson, don't let me or anybody tell you different. And if it's going to be fun for you to have this hit, then obviously do it. Lamar Jackson, 3,500 yards, 6.5 rushing touchdowns, 825 on the ground, 23.5 passing touchdowns. Just with injury risk and all, I'd probably stay away from Lamar. That's it. I went through them all. Some of those were phenomenal smashes. Phenomenal. And you can play this if you want by going to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. We'll get it done if you just enter the promo code when it says, how did you hear about us? Or just click the link in the live chat or in the description of every video. It'll insert promo code for you, Smitty. And then they'll match up to $100 on your first deposit, so you can try and play with the house's money, baby. You can play with the house's money. If you deposit 50, they'll give you 50. You deposit 20, they'll give you 20. So choose your first deposit wisely and try and clean up on some of these. Trevor Lawrence, 27 touchdowns. Give me a break. All right, Garrett. Garrett, final thoughts. I'm sorry, Garrett. Jake. I called you Garrett. I'm sorry. I don't know why I mix you. I mix you two up. I'll be honest. I mix you two up because you both have, in my opinion, outlandish takes on Watson and Mike Thomas. And so for some reason, I think of you and him as the same person. I don't know why. I apologize.
That's fair.
I do that with a lot of you, to be honest. Like, there's so many likenesses between people. I mix up. Rockout is on the line. Rockout, please don't take offense. It's actually a great compliment because we love the Bruce. But I sometimes mix up Rockout and the Bruce. Not in a general sense, but like when I'm flying through something, I'm not paying attention. I'll just be like, "What's up, Bruce?" And it's Rockout. But like those are two like long time. They've been with me for forever. They're like the two peas in a pod for the show. So there's a lot of people I mix up. The only person I don't mix up with anybody is Ron.
Right.
Except my mom. My mom and Ron. I mix them up.
Or
together.
Danny.
Yeah, Denny and Steven, I kind of mix them up, even though they're very, very different people. They remind me of each other. Okay, sorry. Go, Jake. You got 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I guess my final thought is I hope the employee at Underdog that set the Trevor Lawrence passing touchdown lines has a second job lined up because he's going to need it pretty soon. He's going to get fired.
Wait. Say it again. What?
I said I hope the employee who works at Underdog who set the Trevor Lawrence line has another job lined up for the near term.
Yeah.
Because he's going to need it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thanks for having me on, City.
Yeah, appreciate you. No therapist. We were Underdog family over here. Tristan, you're live.
Yeah, 26.5 is criminal for T-Law.
Mm-hmm. That's why I have it on the graphic of the video, bro.
I don't know. I was just looking at last year, 25 touchdowns last year. I mean, I can't agree with. I think it was Jake spoke. I mean, that line. That's just giving out money almost. I can't believe that.
Yeah. But the beautiful part, again, is that for everybody that's like thinking this may be short-lived, and it might be shorter-lived than this, we may not see as much of this like opportunity in the future because they'll get a little tighter with it. I remember the weekly stuff was a little out of pocket at first too. It was like, wow, these are crazy. But they started to get really, really tight with it, and they knew what they were doing. But this one's a little different because you can't, like, in the same breath, if you're going to say, oh, Christian Watson can crush 800 yards, he hasn't done it yet, people doubt him, you're still always going to find values on the season-long stuff that people don't accept until it happens. Those things will always be available, whereas during the week, it's not as easy to find them anymore. During the season-long high or low pick'ems, it will always have value.
What are they thinking? 26.5? What is that?
I know, bro. It's crazy.
Are you kidding me?
What? What's everybody saying?
He's still being slept on somehow. I don't know what I'm missing.
Yeah, T-Law is the man. I'm so pumped about this line. What else you guys got? Tristan, anything else?
No, man, I'm loving the T-Law hype the speak right now. Honestly, keep the hype low if people want to, because the value is crazy for him.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this new feature on Underdog. I'm telling you guys, go check it out. Link is pinned. This is one of my favorite features they've ever. I've been waiting for this day that they add these like future bets, kind of, these future contests. I'm just ecstatic. All right, man. What?
Is there a rushing touchdown line for T-Law?
I don't think so.
Okay, that didn't surprise me. I was curious.
Some of them they don't want to touch because like the rushing touchdowns for Anthony Richardson, I don't think they have an idea, and nor should they, nor could they, of what he's going to do, and so they're like, we can't control that. They don't throw something out they don't feel like they have a good handle on. Like they think that they obviously think that Watson hasn't proven anything yet, and they worry about Jordan Love. So this doesn't worry them, and so we're always going to find values like that. He's a rookie. He catches the football. Monty's there. Oh, poor Monty's getting paid such a big amount of money. Why would they pay Monty money if they were going to give Gibbs all this rushing? So they can't go a certain like height on some of these, and it's just, they're easy smashes, man. Easy. All right.
Maybe I got a question about a draft.
All right, who's talking?
Philly.
Okay, hey Tristan, appreciate you, man. Call back tonight. We're gonna be doing live drafts. Okay, everybody, come back tonight. We'll be doing live drafts on Underdog Fantasy. I expect to see you all. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. So Thursday we draft.
Yeah.
I never know what day. I really don't know what day of the week it is, especially when my kids are
Monday,
not in school.
Tuesday.
Especially when my kids are not in school, then I have no barometer whatsoever about what day of the week it is. Every day is the same day, which is a blessing. But because I hated, I know a lot of people hate Sundays because they work Mondays. I'm blessed I don't have that feeling but the one thing I do, my days just go one into the other. Like before you know it, 52 weeks is gone. It's crazy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday we draft. Today's Thursday, midnight Eastern. Get ready for it. Buckle up. Okay, Tristan, we'll see you tonight, pal. Call in, okay?
Thanks, Vinny.
Midnight Eastern, we'll be live. D Philly, go.
Okay, but I'm in a pickle here. I'm light on wide receivers, and I'm at pick number 8, and I'm down to Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Jamison Williams, Smith Schuster, Alan Lazard, and Tyler Boyd. I have Burrow, but that's digging way deep. I'm up in 2 picks on this 8-hour draft.
How many receivers do you have?
8-hour pick draft. I only have 2.
And which ones do you have?
It's the one I dropped. Right now, I just have Dotson and Devontae Smith.
And then, I'm sorry, can you read off the top 4 names that you listed?
On the list was Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Cortland Sutton, and Jameis Williams.
To be honest with you, and I know this doesn't help you immediately, but in that situation, I take Jamison Williams, and then I take another wide receiver like Tank Dell later on, and I'm taking like a Hyatt. I'm taking a bunch of different guys because I honestly believe Tank Dell will help you, and then you've got Jamison Williams ready to come back, after the week 7 bye. That's just what I would do. If there was a better option, I would take it. I do like Boyd. Boyd's okay, but I don't love Boyd. I don't love Boyd. I like Boyd. I don't love Boyd.
My running back.
Boyd gets those games where if Higgins is having problems or falling off or injured or whatever, Boyd gets those spike games. And he'd be worth it, especially with Burrow. Burrow knows how to get Boyd the ball.
I kind of feel like Charlie Jones eventually takes over somehow, some way, but that's just a gut call. I mean,
one of them's going to have to get injured. But I like Boyd with your setup right now. I like Boyd because he goes with your team. He goes with Burrow.
Boyd's safer.
You're later on Tank Dell and them.
Boyd's,
later on.
Boyd's safer. If you want safety and you're feeling worried about it, go Boyd. But if you like the dice roll, I think Jameson, and then you just scoop up some guys that you know are going to fill in nicely.
You're going to
my wide
receiver. You're not even
not weak.
My wide receiver is not as big as
I'm sorry. Go ahead, D. Philly. What?
I said my wide receivers isn't as desperate as I think it is because I got McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, and Pierce. And then my second pick, when it comes around, I'm going to have to grab Charbonnet.
Yeah, I guess in that situation, I mean, it's safer to go Boyd. If you already have that next pick committed to Charbonnet, maybe go Boyd.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I have been in your shoes before, and I've passed on Boyd, and I've taken Boyd. So I'll just, in all honesty, there's just been different scenarios. But the one you painted, I could see going the conservative route and just take Boyd. Take Charlie Jones later in the final round. He won't even go, so he'll go in round 18. Take Charlie Jones, but count on using him a wide receiver spot on Charlie Jones, and you'll have Boyd and Charlie Jones together. And I think between the two of them, you'll probably get something special at some point. Maybe not a long amount of games, but at least for a handful of games.
I might have done something stupid with my quarterbacks because I grabbed Burrow because the guy had Higgins and Chase, and he was next up, and nobody grabbed Burrow, so I had to grab him even after I grabbed Hurts.
Well, no, it could be a really fun. You dominate the quarterback scoring so much that it works out. I do that all the time. Don't draft
because you could get, and you could get Irv Smith too. Is Irv Smith still there, tight end? You could get both of them on your team, and then in your you don't got to get Charlie Jones until round 18.
Yeah, but don't just pick Smith to cuff. I mean, make sure he's the best tight end available though. But if there's like a Cole Kmet out there, I would take Cole Kmet in a heartbeat over Smith. But that's me. I think Cole Kmet's gonna be fire this year. Kincaid, make sure you don't leave Kincaid out there. Kincaid's a great tight end, but make sure if you draft Kincaid, you have another tight end that can kind of steer the ship for a while because maybe he doesn't do anything until the week 5. So you got to be patient with. Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, D. Philly.
So my scenario was either Jameson Williams or Boyd at this pick, and then I got to go Charbonnet. I don't have a tight end yet, so I'm looking at deep down. I can go Freiermuth if he's still there, or I'd go Kincaid, and then the next one I could get is Cole Kmet after that.
I'd probably go Freiermuth because you are potentially going light at another position already, so you might want to get some consistency somewhere. But I love Kincaid, and if you were to get like a Conquo, Kincaid together, Cole Kmet, Kincaid together, I love that a lot. I really do. That's a fantastic way to go. And again, you feel like a dice roll. Jameson Williams isn't crazy here, but it does put you in a position where you might be scoring very low amount of points in that wide receiver 3 spot if you don't draft really well with the deeper guys. But I do actually like Tank Dell more than Tyler Boyd, like by a lot. Not by a little, by a lot. So I think he's your wide receiver 3. That's the only reason why I say toy around with the idea of Jameson, just because I think Tank Dell's going to be fire. But
I know I'm getting Dell. I know right now with my situation at wide receiver, I'm going Dell at the end, even if I have to reach.
Yeah, reach around at least one round to make sure. Like when you see him. But trust your gut. If you want safety, if you don't feel comfortable with the wide receiver room, then go Boyd. Boyd's safer. Or Mike. I mean, Mike Thomas. Garrett says Mike Thomas. I mean, if you believe in Mike Thomas, I don't believe in Mike Thomas. But this isn't a crazy place to take Mike Thomas if you wanted to gamble on it as your wide receiver 3 when you're building your wide receiver 3 in a very cheap way. Like it's not like you're drafting your wide receiver 3 really high. So Mike Thomas isn't the craziest move. I don't think he stays healthy, but I mean, maybe he gets 700 yards and maybe he gets what Boyd can get. So I don't know.
So the only other question I have is, do I make sure I get Charbonnet on this first pick?
What pick will it be? What round? What pick?
8?
Yeah, I mean, he goes about 100 to 107, I think, or 110, anywhere between 100 and 110. So if you're taking him in the 90s, as long as it's like not in the 80s, you should be okay.
I'm at 90. I'm at 94.
I probably would take him if you don't have a pick until like 107 or 105. Like that's kind of where he goes.
I got two. I got 94 and 99. So I'm wondering,
Okay.
do I go wide receiver first or grab Charbonnet first and then go wide
Yeah,
receiver?
you could probably. Well,
94, 99.
let me see. Let me look at a couple drafts here and see if any of the past few drafts.
Charbonnet usually, he always goes in the 8th. I don't see him dropping in the 9th usually ever.
But the guys that are behind me all have good running backs already. They have 3 apiece.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean people don't grab
don't mean
guys like that.
You got Walker, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I got Walker. I need him.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. If Boyd goes, he goes. If Boyd goes, you take Jameson Williams, and you say whatever.
Okay.
You know, but then yeah. So just take him to be safe. It's fine.
Wait on tight end, right?
Yeah, because you could get I love Musgrave as a tight end too. You could take Irv Smith, like Ron said.
Yeah.
I love Musgrave as a late tight end. I love going Komet or Okonkwo with a player like Musgrave. Just make sure you look at the bye weeks and everything. All right, D Philly, I gotta go. See you tonight, pal. I'll be live at midnight to 12:30 Eastern drafting. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, bro.
Later. Rock out. Final thoughts, Rock out. Anything you want to get off your chest? Garrett, appreciate you.
Yeah, I think Dobson's going to hit his 800 yards, and I think McLaurin's going to hit his 950 yards for season long.
Yeah, I think so, bro. And Garrett's the highest super chatter of the year. Can everybody please drop an emoji that is Garrett's emoji? He owns this, or he's the man with this emoji, the one that created it. It's the Gorilla Eggplant 600. Garrett dropped the highest super chat of a single live stream of $600, and that is his emoji right there. It looks a little something like this. Let me pull it on screen here. It's the Eggplant Gorilla 600. And that is his emoji. So drop that for Garrett. Garrett says, Smitty saw training report that Mike Thomas says he's ready. Yeah, we talked about this when the news broke on it, and that he's going to be ready, he's saying. Not that he's ready now, but he's going to be ready. And do you believe him? I don't believe him. Garrett believes him. I don't believe him. I can't believe him. All right, Rock out. Appreciate you. See you tonight, pal.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Ron Navy, final thoughts.
I think for the years out, A.T. Perry has the wide receiver 3 spot there in New Orleans.
A.T. Perry? Yeah, I like A.T. He's
got size. And then with Thomas probably going to be injured, he won't make it through the year. I highly doubt it. So you'll have Olave, Shaheed, and then Perry will work his way in as the number 3 guy, I have a feeling.
Yeah. Hey, Silver, I don't know if Silver is late. Silver, do you know what we're referencing with the 27 touchdowns, or did you just get in and are trying to catch up? Because on Underdog Fantasy, they released the pick'ems, higher lows for season stats, and they have Trevor Lawrence at 26.5 touchdowns. So we're smashing that, Silver, and we're smashing it really, really amazing like. So appreciate you, Silver. All right, hey, Ron, I will see you tonight if you're around for drafting.
Yeah.
All right. Ron Navy. Later, pal.
Later.
That's Ron the Don, ladies and gentlemen. Ron the Don.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ron the Don.
Where's Denny?
He's Denny. Denny. He's Denny.
I don't know if Denny's watching. Denny, if you're watching, dial in real quick. Space Ricky dropped a $2 hauler. Says, "What's Ron's take on Deontay Johnson?" I think he's like back and forth on him a little bit. Not to say that he's fickle on him, just that like I think he has hopes that he'll do something, but he's skeptical because he has bricks for hands. But I think he likes him more today than he liked him yesterday, kind of thing. But I don't know. That Maine will rock this year. 33 TDs. I got to get myself a Trevor Lawrence Mang. I mean, that Mang is that golden Mang is just glory. Such a glorious Mang. Hopefully, we need to make that a thing. The T-Law Mang, the Law Dog. We're gonna make an animation for it. The Law Dog deserves an animation. It's a long time coming. A long time coming. I'll see you all tonight for live drafting. Okay, tonight we're doing it live. The Fantasy Football Show will be back for midnight to 12:30ish drafting Underdog Fantasy. Link is in the description. Promo code Smitty gets it done just as easily, but you can click the link and it inserts the promo code for you. So I lied. It's even easier if you click the link. You don't have to type in Smitty, but use Smitty and they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. But if you don't click the link in the live chat or in the description, the Underdog link that has promo code Smitty inserted for you, you will not make it into a draft tonight. You just won't. You won't get there in time, so do it early. Not to mention for all the over-unders we're talking about, the higher lows. Do it live. I'll see you all tonight. What animation should we play here? How about this one? Gibbs, for in recognition of Gibbs' higher low of 581. All he has to do is rush for 581 yards to get to hit the over, the higher on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. 581 in recognition of this beautiful man. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
No!
Silver says T-Law looks like Fabio's niece, but plays like his uncle.
Silver Rapture T-Law looks like Fabia's niece, but plays like his uncle.
Scuba, you have 10 seconds, Scuba. You have 10 seconds.
All right, Smitty. So I missed all of your show. I wanted to get your thoughts on Dalvin Cook getting released and Alexander Madison's fantasy value. Where are you putting him? Where are you putting him, Smitty? Are you putting him on the Moonman list?
Well, we got an entire stream dedicated to this, so go rewatch that. But I'll say that Madison's close to being a Moonman, maybe more so a satellite man. And Dalvin Cook just depends on where he lands, and no one knows. Likely to go to Denver or to Miami. Most likely Miami right now, but we don't know. It's all smoke. Nobody knows. People said the Cowboys the other day. Now we're not hearing anything about the Cowboys. So it's smoke season still. The remnants of smoke season still around us. And right now Madison's about, I would say, 7th round material. Steal in 7th round, 8th round territory, but not somebody I want in 6. So it's a hard line. It's a hard line. Round 7 or not at all. Okay?
All right.
All right, rewatch the show. Okay, one more question. One more question. Go.
Just one more thing on that. Dalvin Cook. Does it depend on where he goes to determine if you actually want to draft him this year? Like I know that you said Miami and
what I just said, yeah.
and Denver, but let's just say that he goes to the Bengals or something. Like does that change your view on him? Are you gonna take him pretty high? What's your thoughts? And then I'll let you go, man.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Absolutely, it changes things, and we have to just digest it as it happens. I could go through every team and say, this is exactly how I feel, this is exactly how I don't feel, and it's hard to do that until we really know what's going on. If you went to the Bengals, you'd have Mixon and him together, and that would be cloudy. I would like him, but I'd only like him if his ADP was relatively good. So will he climb if he goes to Cincinnati? Will people be excited about him? And then he's got high ADP in a cloudy situation. Then I don't like Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook plummets into round 9 or 10 and he's in Cincinnati, then I love him because he's a win-a-league player. So it just totally depends on ADP, but we'll have to digest it as it happens. D-Town says Scuba Steve never disappoints. You got a little fan club in here already, Scuba. But I do have to go. Appreciate you calling in late. Go watch the Madison video, okay? The Dalvin Cook video.
All right, man. Thank you. I'm sorry I called you in late.
No, you don't have to apologize. Don't apologize for being Scuba, okay?
All right.
You do
hey,
Scuba.
Are you going to be doing your stream tomorrow at 7? I'll try to catch that in tomorrow.
Scuba, when have I not done a 7 p.m. show Monday through Friday?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah,
all right, man.
Got a good point.
Night.
All right, later, Scuba. See you tonight. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Garrett, appreciate your super chats. Garrett tonight dropping 2 wads on the screen. Professor Stroke, how do you feel about stacking other positions? Going Madison, running back 1, and Swift 2. I answered that question. Space Ricky, appreciate you. D-Class is the man. Tristan, appreciate you, Tristan. Oh, we got the voicemails. Hold on. Yeah, look at all these people that left. We got 86 people in here. There's about 50 people that left. They thought the credits were going up. This is like a Marvel movie. You don't leave before the credits are totally over. That is a bad mistake. We got voicemails. We've got voicemails. We're doing it live. Here we go. Mason.
Hey, Smitty. In the 14th round.
Hold on.
Hey, Smitty. In the 14th round here of a Dynasty startup draft, wondering who you like more here, Alec Pierce or Wan'Dale Robinson?
Mason. Probably Alec Pierce, but I don't love both of them. I like Tank Dell way more. Way more. But I like Alec Pierce enough. Because I like Anthony Richardson and there's opportunity, so we'll go ahead and go that route. But do I like Tank Dell more? Smash Tank Dell way more, like rounds earlier, just in case you see him out there. Okay, so that was Mason. Appreciate Mason asking a question. If anybody else wants to have their message played on this show on the daily, you just go to my Instagram at The Fantasy Football Show. You click that subscribe button and you do it now, and you do it fast, and you get for $4.99, half a cup of coffee, $4.99. You can drop a voicemail daily, multiple voicemails on the show during the voicemail segment. Okay, so do it live. This is Mason. That's a good one, Mason. Good take. Appreciate you.
Yo, Smitty, I was just wondering what you think about the release of Dalvin Cook.
So, yeah, I did touch on this already on a separate show, so go watch that. But in general, Dalvin Cook, it depends where he lands. If he goes somewhere like Cincinnati, like Scuba Steve brought up a minute ago, about an hour and 40 minutes into the show, if you want to reflect back on that moment, we'll have to look at it. Where's his ADP? ADP and landing spot together will determine whether we like Dalvin Cook. We cannot determine it with one. We need both of them. They're two puzzle pieces, because in Cincy, he'd be a potential win a league player, but at a high ADP, no, because he's got Mixon there. It's cloudy. If he's a 9th or 10th round pick in Cincinnati, he's a win a league player. So totally dependent on ADP. Appreciate your question. All right, that one's to Mason as well. Mason. Let me drop this here for Mason and put that right here. And there we go. Okay. Now we got another voicemail from Raul.
So I have the 1.5
in a Superflex Dynasty startup, 12 team. So I was wondering, would you be content with grabbing Fields there, right, at 1.5, or are you looking to trade up? If so, what would you feel is fair compensation to move up to like the 1? Or would you just
I like how he laughs a little bit.
bypass quarterback
I lo-
and grab Bijan Robinson at 1.5?
Yeah, no.
What would you do?
So this is a super flex, obviously.
So I have the
1.5 super flex.
and a Superflex.
Okay. So, Raul, this is an easy one. And for reference in the video, if you want to watch the reaction, it's at 1 hour and 43 minutes in. Raul, I mean, honestly, bro, the secret sauce to a super flex is if you get lucky enough to get a top 5 pick and you get Burrow or Fields, Burrow before Fields, in my opinion, then you take it. You don't look back. You don't hesitate. You don't take Bijan. As much as I love Bijan, this is a super flex draft. Then in round 2, 3, 4, you return to 1 QB mode and you clean up and draft against traffic. You circle back around eventually. You got to use your own judgment and not screw the pooch on it, but grab a Jordan Love, grab an Aaron Rodgers, grab an old dog to go next to your Fields or Burrow. But you better not pass on Fields or Burrow over Fields in a position where you're gifted a top 5 or 6 overall pick. That is a win-a-league strategy. Yeah, I did a draft on it last year. I said, let me show you how to dominate a draft if you get a top 5 pick. We took Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, and we won the league. That was Raul. Appreciate Raul for dropping that question. And let me get to the voicemails are coming in strong now. If you guys want to be voicemail leavers, all you got to do is get to my Instagram right there. Mason.
Hey, Smitty, just wondering thoughts on Antonio Gibson versus Brian Robinson this year. I'm hearing a lot of good about Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, there's a lot on Gibson, but I don't, it's early. There's, these guys aren't hitting each other. I do like the idea of him catching 40, 55 passes this year. And so for that reason in PPR, I still like him as a wide receiver, or running back 3 flex play, potentially in like a weird build. But usually there are players I just like a little bit better when he's on the board still. But do I mind him? No. Do I think Gibson could be kind of a surprise? I do. It just depends on the ADP. So if you can get him in a territory where, like, would I rather have Charbonnet? Yeah. Pacheco? Yeah. Swift? Yeah. Like those guys, absolutely. But would I take him in a territory where I'm looking at wide receivers that I just don't really believe in, and I'm grabbing names, or running backs, I'm just grabbing names, and I don't like. Yeah, I like him a lot in that territory, but not near Swift, Pacheco, round 6 type guys. Not even Charbonnet I'd take over him, but there is a point where that line gets drawn. So it kind of depends what we're talking about. That one is Mason as well. Mason, appreciate you dropping that. Mason, there we go. That one's for Mason. Okay, and I believe this is the last one. This is from Adam.
Smitty, are you going to do some videos about Week 17 when all the money is important? Like who you like for those weeks in particular?
Great question, and this is answered at 1 hour and 46 minutes in and about 1:46 and 30 seconds. Yeah, I will be doing a Week 17 Underdog Fantasy video. So, yes, I would definitely hang tight for that. I'm definitely one that doesn't plan too much for it like everybody else, because you got to get there. And if you plan too much for the big dance, you won't make it to the big dance. So it's a happy medium. There'll be a video about it, but some cautionary tales to go with it. Absolutely look for it. But also keep in mind on the Puppy 2s right now in Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The Puppy 2s, enter promo code Smitty or click the link that's pinned in the live chat or the description on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The Puppy 2s, they allow you to fight for weeks 1 through 14 as well. That total point winner gets $10,000. So there's a lot to consider when you're building your team, and not just about week 17. But very good question, and yes. And that was for Adam. Adam, appreciate you. That is answered, and I'm done with all the voicemails. I'm going to do a little line break inside the chat and say all the rest of the messages, voicemails, are for tomorrow. VMs tomorrow go below this line. And so if you guys want to be a part of that voicemail routine, get on over to my Instagram, click that subscribe button. It's $4.99 per month. half a cup of coffee, maybe a quarter cup of coffee in today's day and age. That might be a couple extra pepperonis thrown onto your pizza. Like, that's the kind of thing we're dealing with in today's world. But for $4.99, you can get in the voicemail group, and you get into this private chat where you're talking to other like-minded people, and they reply quickly because they're also paying $4.99. They want a nice little, tight-knit community that they can bounce stuff off. And the voicemail part's for me. So the chatter's for everybody. I try and chime in when I can in the private group on Instagram. But anytime you leave a voice message, I play those voicemails. The voice messages are directed at me and me alone. And so I play them and I answer them. And then at the end, I put this little thing. I say, thank you for the voicemails. I tag you and record the answer so you don't have to go hunting through the show. You can actually just play it. Look, here's the answer. Great question, and this is answered at 1 hour and 46 minutes in and about 1:46 and 30 seconds. Yeah, I will be doing a Week 17 Underdog Fantasy video. So I make it easy for you. You can play your response. I also try and reference the time, and you can watch it if you didn't watch it live rather than hunt through the video. But you get your one-on-one exclusive advice from me at the cheapest price point I have at $4.99 a month. It's a smash. Now get out of here, okay? Get breezed.
Get breezed.